Well, your impressions of spring as far as the development of the offense, installing your system?
Yeah, overall, the whole spring, today wasn't pretty, but overall in the spring, we put a lot in, a lot more than I thought, and they handled it pretty well. Certainly, we got a long way to go in every position. I mean, there's no question. The inexperience sometimes shows up, so you have to teach both the fundamentals and a new scheme, and that makes it a little bit more difficult. But they're working hard. This will be the most important summer for most of these guys that they've ever had, and it's a really important summer for our staff as well. And we got a great strength staff. It's going to be a really, really important summer for them, just to get our guys in the type of shape they need to do to play in this offense, because right now we're not in it.
I know y'all wanted to be somewhat vanilla today and play calling and whatnot, but what did we see? I mean, how different might this offense look in August?
Well, you saw we got a lot of work to do between now and August. That's what you saw. I think the scheme part of it, I told the guys, we're not game planning for a spring game. We're not going to try to show things that we worked on all spring that might be a little unique that we looked at. And spring part of it too is getting a feel, particularly for myself and a couple of the new coaches, to see what our guys can do. Not just the ones that that have played a little bit, but I don't know what any of them could do, until we practice. And so now after 14 practices, I have a better idea what each guy's strengths and weaknesses are, and then we all have to adjust. Frankly, we have to adjust our offense in ways that fit what they do best, and that's going to be part of our challenge as coaches over the summer.
Have you been pleased with what you've seen with Tyler in the slot?
Tyler, yeah, he's just a kid. The reason he showed up today is because he showed up in the spring because he's so competitive. I mean, he's a good athlete. He plays really hard, and we got him in a couple different positions. We got other guys that got to play a couple positions. We got a bunch of freshmen coming in, and some of them going to play. We're still looking for guys that are going to come in this summer to compete, because we're young, but we're not going to be deep either, and we need to be a whole lot deeper. And unfortunately or fortunately, whatever the case may be, it's going to be with some new faces. But the guys we have, if they make a commitment to having the best summer of their competitive lives as far as getting ready and do what our strength coaches will have them do, then we'll be a better football team in August. If not, we won't be better. But I think we will. In fact, I know we will. Our guys will work hard. Our defense will work hard. Our specialists will work hard. And we'll be a lot better team in 3 months.
What are your thoughts on
Matt Corral?
Yeah, Matt's had a good spring. Today probably wasn't his sharpest day, but it's important to Matt. The one thing about Matt is he makes a mistake, he knows right away, he wants to get it corrected, and Matt, he's going to be a redshirt freshman. He's going to be the leader of that unit. And it comes inherently with that position, but Matt also has the personality to handle it. But he's got a long way to go too. But I feel really good about Matt and his buy-in, his skill set, and what he can do. We just got to continue to develop everybody on this side of the ball.
What did you see from those running backs today playing without Sky?
I think we ran hard. I don't think we had a lot of explosive runs, but part of it is we probably didn't have room to have explosive runs. We got to get deeper. We like to play at least 3 tailbacks, and we like guys that are a little versatile that can play in the slot and play tailback. And a couple of those guys have done that throughout the spring, and they're running hard. Coach Nix does a tremendous job with our running backs, so he'll have 3 ready by August.
How have you felt about the way your offensive line has progressed through the spring? And you talked about new guys coming in. Are some of the new linemen almost by necessity going to have to play?
Of those 7 freshmen, I think it's 7, right? Of those, a couple of them have to be ready to play, just for depth reasons, if no other, if not challenging to be a starter. And I don't, again, I don't know them. I've watched their film, but until I see them in person, well, I'll be able to evaluate how quickly they can help us and then how quickly they can learn. That's usually where inexperience shows up the most, or youth is up front, when you're maybe, even if you know what you're doing, you're probably not going to be strong enough. We have a couple young linemen that I think are going to be pretty good players. They just got to start living in the weight room more and get stronger. And as the career goes on, they will. Our guys will get them there. But right now, they're a little bit weak, and that's why this summer is so important.
What have you thought of your true freshman quarterbacks this spring and today?
Well, there were times where they looked like they were getting ready for the prom, like they were supposed to be in high school, and there were times they showed some pretty neat stuff. I like those guys. Their attitude is tremendous. Each has a little kind of unique skill set, and I have to sometimes step back and remember these guys are supposed to still be in high school, so don't expect too much. But I told them the other day, because I get on them pretty hard at times. And I said, I can't coach you like a true freshman that's supposed to be in high school. I got to coach you to get ready to play, you know, big time football. And that's the approach I'm going to take, and they want that. So we'll see. We got another young guy coming in, 1 or 2 guys coming in this summer to compete, and it's a good group, but they're just young.
Matt said there's been times that Elijah looked like the best player on the field this spring.
Yeah.
What has he kind of done to be able to?
Elijah, he's like Ty Knight. He's as competitive a football player as we have, and that's what usually shows up. And he's, you know, it's unfortunate we didn't get him loose a couple of times. There's some things we want to do with him today, but he's a really good football player, and football is really, really important to him, and it showed up this spring.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay.